Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a kind of breezy walking with J.Beau today. It's not windy, it's a little breezy, if that constitutes wind. But anyway, thank you for joining me today. We're going to be walking somewhere between 5.5 and 6 miles. Definitely cool today. Got kind of a northwesterly wind coming in from the northeast, where it's a lot cooler up in Canada. And it's definitely Canadian air we're getting today. This is the free air conditioning from Canada. It's 67 degrees. Feels like 67 degrees. But the sun still feels warm, so that's nice. So tonight is going to be a big night. It's going to be presidential debate night. And you know, I've been thinking about it, and I've done a lot of research because I like doing that. The fact of the matter is, while Kamala Harris has had kind of an easy setup of it in California, where she's from, when she was running for the Attorney General spot, California, it was predicted that she was going to be beaten by her running opponent. It was predicted that she was going to be beaten rather easily because she's a fool and she's this and she's that. And she had a debate that was televised, and the person went into the debate underestimating her, and she beat the crap out of him. She ended up winning the election, and she wasn't supposed to win. And she did the same thing for the district attorney spot. So it's one of those things where you can't underestimate her. She's a prosecutor, attorney. I guess she wasn't the horrible one. She just played politics with the job. She could have done something actually good for people. She wanted to pad her resume with a lot of prosecutions and victories, and she did that. So unfortunately, a lot of brown-skinned people paid for that. They got sentenced to pretty bad sentences for marijuana charges and things that shouldn't have been that severe. But she got where she wanted to go, so apparently she felt it was worth it. I also researched that whatever election that she's run, she's never lost. So I think a lot of that has to do with California, actually. It's very tilted. You get the media on your side, it's a lot easier. So this, however, is the national stage. She has the full media behind her and always informs. And as of the debate tonight, according to new polling, Kamala is losing. Trump is winning. And really it comes down to the electoral college states. It's really what it comes down to. The Republicans, okay, whether you like the Republican Party or not, they have done a really good ground game this year with specifically registering new voters. Pennsylvania was decided by not very much in the last election. And the Republicans have registered thousands and thousands and thousands of new voters in Pennsylvania, but more importantly, they've done so in the counties that you need to win. So everything that can be done is being done to win Pennsylvania. Trump is leading in Pennsylvania. Basically though, the debate tonight is going to weigh heavily on who wins the election. So Trump would have to really have a monumental meltdown tonight. Because with the topics and things important to people, Trump is in the correct category. All polling statistics show that. What's important to the voters, economy and all of that stuff. So Democrats have to use things like abortion and social issues. You're a racist, and that's not working for them like it used to. And I'm not even sure it really worked for them. They seem to think so, but I think people are sick of the division, and they're either going to blame Trump for it or they're going to blame the Democrats, and it looks like people are blaming the Democrats more for that. And then throw in the wars in the Middle East, you know. It's a mess. It's a mess. We need Trump back. That's all there is to it. And the other thing that's in Trump's favor, and the reason why this Trump's going to be a dictator stuff didn't work, is because he was president before. I mean, common sense would tell you if he was a dictator, he would have been when he had the chance. He would have refused to leave. He would have shored up the White House with military, and none of that happened. So you can't have a dictatorship in the United States. You can have a corrupt government. You can have sort of a police state. You can have certainly have problems, but that's indicative of what these people would do if they had true unlimited power. Holy cow, we'd all be in trouble. I'd be in jail. So would you, probably. So we're going to go down. I'm going to go down this way. Another beautiful fall day in Maine. Early fall. So anyway, the bottom line is Trump cannot take Kamala lightly tonight, which I'm sure he won't. He's been going over policies and things like that with his team. I guess Kamala has been practicing internet gotchas. That has been confirmed that she did have a Trump stand-in impersonator, like she's debating Trump, and they were probably hyper exaggerating everything Trump does, so it probably didn't help her very much. There's only one Trump in the world, folks. You can go see a good Elvis impersonator, but it's not the same thing as seeing Elvis, okay? So when I get on a quieter side street a couple miles up ahead, I will do a kind of like a selfie view for a few minutes. People seem to like that. For the life of me, I don't know why. But I will abide. Somebody commented on that on one of my videos, and I got a few thumbs up on that, so apparently people want to see that, so that's what I'll do. I'll suck it up. You see the video and see I need a shave or something like that, I don't want to hear it. So when we had all this flowing water going through here, I kind of miss when we would see those ducks, but they went somewhere else with this water. Have not had very much rainfall in Maine this year, which is really good. I'm not complaining at all, not in the damn least. Last year was terrible. It seemed like it rained every other day. We had record rain. Ground was so saturated that 40-mile-an-hour winds were uprooting trees. Not good. So I'm pretty sure everybody already knows what the topics tonight are going to be for the debate. I think Kamala, because, you know, she can't contain herself and control herself, is going to go for the internet gotcha, the one that's going to go viral between now and election day. I think that's what she's going to try to do. She's going to try to bait Trump on something. And the Kamala camp was upset that the microphones are going to be off. But according to the rules I looked at, and I think this will be important, hopefully this does not happen, but I think they're going to have control on kind of like a director's point of view or decision while the debate is happening about whether or not the mic is on. So I think what's going to happen, and this is just my best guess, is they're going to unmute Kamala's microphone so she can reply to Trump, and then Trump's going to get irritated by something, and then she's going to do her, "Excuse me, I'm speaking, please." That's what she's going to do to him. So he needs to not fall for that. Now the debate with Biden, the mic was off until the next question. So this one here, apparently they've kind of like compromised on the rules, which to me, compromise for any Democrat means they can thumb the scale by abusing what they're given, because they do that with everything. ABC News does not like Trump. Trump has a lawsuit against them. And usually these far left liberals are vindictive little shits. That's their character nature. Vengeance, gotta get you back. The end justifies the means. So we could very well have Trump answer a question, and then Kamala will have some kind of predetermined signal, which I'll be watching for. I'm going to see if there's any kind of thing that she does to signal the producer, I mean the director, to put her mic on. I just don't trust these people with anything. I just don't. So we'll watch what happens. Maybe it'll be an honest debate, but I doubt it. Democrats don't know how to do that. So one thing I'm getting tired of is I'm getting tired of the Kamala campaign lies and talking points they're using against Trump. Everything from Project 2025, the fine people on both sides hoax, which when he said that, it was taken out of context. They clipped off what he was talking about, which was this fine people on both sides of the statue argument. The statue argument. He did not say the KKK were fine people. It only took 2.5, 3 years for that to be debunked by the media finally, or longer. But this is what they do. They tried to do it again with a speech he gave recently where he mentioned bloody, and in reference to immigrants and kicking them out, the media is trying to say he's promising bloodshed again. What he was talking about, these Venezuelan gangs are hardcore criminals from Venezuela that are not like the criminal gangs here. These people are vicious, brutal, like MS-13, who are not Venezuelan. I'm just using them as an example to equate it to. These Venezuelan gangs are ruthless. And they're setting up shop in the United States to start their own crime syndicate, away from what they really feared, which was the Venezuelan government. So in America, they can have free reign. It's like going to summer camp here. We have all these laws that actually protect the criminals. They didn't have that there. So anyway, the point being, he said, when you're gathering these Venezuelan gangs to deport them, it's going to be bloody business. It's going to get messy because they're violent. And the media is trying to twist that into Trump promising bloodshed when deporting immigrants. So, but you know, the good news is a lot of that stuff isn't sticking anymore because the people know it's bullshit. Thanks. So it's one of those things. And well, that is what it is, right? That's what they do. So we got the Halloween decor over here coming around. Every year they dress this place up really nicely. This is the beginning stages, okay? This looks like a lot of stuff, but wait until they're done. They're gonna have giant spiders on the roof and everything. So, but this is what they got right now. This will all be lit up nice at night. This guy right here has a motion sensor, and so does this one. It actually talks to you and reacts to you. It's pretty cool. And if you ever come by here, they're gonna have a donation box right there on that wall, right there on that board. So this stuff all costs money, so You come by and check this out, and that donation box is there. Drop a couple bucks in there and help them out with that. They put up a nice display every year, Christmas time too. And it's a lot of work because like today it's windy, you know. You get a storm with 70-mile-an-hour winds and all that stuff right there gets knocked all over the place, and you spend like a whole week fixing it. You know, plus, you know, you got a regular life to live too. So anyways, so we're gonna head down this way. Side street. I'm going to switch camera views. Hello everybody, it's J.Beau. Hope you're enjoying the walk today. I'm switching to a selfie stream on a side street. It'll be a lot safer because then I can see the traffic where it is. It is windy today, as you can tell. But it feels good. It's 67 degrees. It's nice. And so anyway, yeah, like I was talking about, the debate tonight's going to be really interesting, I think. You know, thus far, you know, Kamala hasn't really been in the same room with Trump. She hasn't experienced the Trump experience in person, and she's probably told herself things like, ah, he's this, he's that. He's a big fat white guy with probably something like, you know, he's got a small winky. He's nothing to be worried about, blah, blah, blah. I can handle him. And I wonder what she's really secretly thinking. You know? What is she thinking about this whole thing tonight? How concerned is she? I mean, inside her own cabeza, okay? So I guess we'll find out. I mean, so we're gonna walk on here, and as you can see, these neighborhoods here are quite nice. This one's kind of a smaller, quaint one. We've seen some other ones on our walks out in the farm country. This is quite a few miles away from that. So this is more towards the inner city, but not in the inner city. And so I'm going to be careful how far I extend the camera, because this thing holding the camera is not really made for this camera, but it's a selfie stick, and the rubber grips seem to be okay enough to hold it, I hope. And the GoPro is a pretty solidly built thing. And, so like I was saying, I don't know what they're going to do with the microphone issue. You know, I can just picture somebody in that control booth switching the mic on and off on Trump to try to catch something, like maybe putting it on when he doesn't expect it, to break up his concentration about what he's thinking about. I don't know what they're going to do, but the good news is Trump has a lot of experience in debates now, and one thing he absolutely cannot do, okay, he can't do this, not even once. He cannot beat up on her. In a perfect world, you'd be able to like to say, Kamala, you're an idiot, you're a friggin' moron, you're gonna destroy this country. You can't do that, because almost 100% of the independent women that he's trying to woo over are not gonna go for that. So we have an election to win, and I think it would be in his best self-interest to play it cool. And I think the fact that he's got good poll numbers right now will settle him down a lot. He won't be so full of angst. but it's going to be interesting to watch. I think it's going to be 90 minutes. I don't know how many commercial breaks they're going to have, maybe 2. It's definitely, I'll be watching. Absolutely. So, anyway, I just wanted to pop onto a selfie to say hello and thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. Like I said, this channel's not monetized. I don't make a penny from it. I just enjoy having people watching. And if anybody enjoys my long videos and my bantering, then thank you very much for that. I'm just a person like you and everybody else. I have opinions. We're not always going to agree, but we're not always going to disagree either. So we got these school buses hauling kids from the school up the road. I'll sign off for now, and I'll switch back to my other camera. And I want to say thanks a lot for watching, and God bless you all. And let's continue our walk right now. All right. Well, hell. I mentioned something about the selfie stick, and guess what? I broke my selfie stick because it's cheap Chinese plastic crap. I have another selfie stick, actually made for a GoPro, which I should have used in the first place, which I will now. And thing with that is we have another camera. I really don't use I don't do selfies with the cell phone, and that's what this was made for, so it's really no skin off me at all for any reason. And so there's that. I broke my selfie stick. I'll start using the other one that's more rugged, also on a telescoping pole. This one was kind of cool because it has a Bluetooth which talks to my phone, and I can activate the recording with it. But I really don't record anything with my phone anymore since having the GoPro and that other digital camera. So we'll chuck this in the rubbish, in the garbage. So I hope you did enjoy the selfie stream while it lasted. Well, I got those big giant light poles up. Remember we walked by those the other day? They're putting in stadium lighting over here, or at least better lighting. I don't know what they're going to make this field turn it into. It looks like they're going to be taking up, or they have taken up. Yep, it looks like they took out the running track. No, it looks like they still have it. They're just building something in the middle of it. Probably soccer, I'm thinking. That's Bates College, by the way, if you're just watching. It's one of the top 20 colleges in the country. Pretty good sized campus. We're just walking on the outskirts of it, which I do because I carry an everyday carry, if you know what I mean. Those are not allowed on campus, and we must always uphold the law. Hello. We must always uphold the law. Be responsible gun owners. But they installed these big giant light poles. And it looks like they're going to be putting some kind of protective netting up. So I don't know what they're doing. Doesn't look like a baseball thing. It's too small for that. So, might be field hockey. It might be field hockey. They put up a fence behind them to protect spectators, I think. That's what it looks like. We'll see. We'll see. I've been wrong before. I had a helicopter pad turn into a pickleball court, so that's what you get from me. Complete nonsense and foolishness. It looked like a helicopter launching pad, okay? And it was right next to a fire station. What do you want from me, right? 2 + 2 equals, okay, we're gonna have rescue here now. That's me, always thinking big. Anyways, we're gonna enjoy the rest of our walk. I hope. No, this is serious business. This, you know, all of this political stuff, because this election is going to affect us for many years to come, either way. I really honestly believe Trump 2.0 is going to get crap done, okay? And what I mean by that is he spent his first time ever being a politician getting sued, impeached, the media beat up on him, probably something completely different than what he expected. And, you know, it caused a lot of problems. He accomplished a lot of stuff, but not nearly on the scale that he wanted to. And a lot of the people that he brought in, he ended up not being able to trust. So, you know, for a while it seemed like when he first started out, things were a little rough. Then you had the Russia collusion hoax, and then we find out they spied on his campaign to set him up. And I think now he understands how unscrupulous these people are. And I think we're going to see a different approach this time. And he's going to use the biggest, best people like Elon Musk. I think the fact that they announced Elon Musk is going to come in and have budgetary control over the government and fix ourselves internally and out, restructuring all of our agencies. I mean, this is huge. They are going to get bucked with every single damn thing they do with lawsuits. But here's the thing. If they can get enough stuff done before 2028 and then elect DeSantis will just cruise right in there. Now, you know, you still got Vivek Ramaswamy, who's going to be on the Trump administration as well in some capacity. So we have really good, brilliant people that actually care. And we have the potential to really get a lot of good things done for once, okay, in this damn country's life in the past 30-40 years. And you know, ever since the Iron Curtain came down and Russia collapsed, we have been absolutely the worst people on the planet to many countries, and it's really been a horrible thing. So things need to change because they have to. This country is not going to survive this. It's not going to survive more financial bloat like it has been. I can already tell Elon Musk is going to come in being the brilliant son of a bitch he is, and he's going to save taxpayers billions of dollars without losing services. He's just going to cut out all of these federal employees that aren't necessary. You know, they're just going to have to do it. 87,000 IRS agents, they're all paid pretty well. You know, and we have to pay for that, and we don't have the money anymore for that stuff. And that's just a fact of it. This is literally unsustainable. This country will collapse. We're in the process of that now. And it's going to be ugly when it does, because it's going to make the stock market crash at 29 look like a piece of cake. It'll be really bad, the worst. So everything will be gone, from help with college tuition. You know, people want to fill out their FAFSA and get some financial aid for college. That's all going to be gone. All of it. These young people are going to be very angry. They're going to be rioting. There's going to be a lot of upheaval, a lot of problems. You have a federal emergency or a local emergency. That aid money for hurricane aid relief is not going to be there. Not like it was. And you know, this stuff has real repercussions in the real world. Hospital care will be even worse than it is now. School system will have less money. They're already terrible. You know, there's nothing to win on this, okay? You know, it'll be soup kitchens again. There won't be enough welfare for people. And, wow. I mean, this could be really a horrible thing. That is how important this election coming out, you know, and then, you know, throw in the little side thing, you know, like maybe World War III. I mean, nothing major, right? So, you gotta vote for Trump. You're not gonna lose if you vote for Trump. If they do everything to stop everything he wants to do, you're still not gonna lose with Trump, because then they're not gonna be doing anything themselves. And public sentiment will not. I think people are done with this stuff, this woke politics. I've been seeing opinion polling on different woke topics, and I think the public is sick of this. Oh. Somebody's backhoeing back there. I absolutely love this weather we've been getting. It's been so nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. People are so polite here. They stop and wait, let me cross. They wave hello. And then once in a while, you'll see somebody with a Massachusetts or New York license plate, because unfortunately we're close enough to those people still. They come here and they just roll through the stop sign and are offended that you are stopping them from doing that. Those are affectionately called, people from Massachusetts like that are affectionately called massholes. And we sometimes call them Massachusetts. Bunch of Marxists, neo-Marxism, basically communism, same skin. Basically what we've deduced from here is if somebody's flying an American flag, they're voting for Trump. If they're not, they're voting for somebody else. A lot of times you'll see, you know, the usual liberal signage, rainbow flags and whatever. And again, I've said this many times on this channel, I really could care less who's gay, bi, trans. I really could care less. Just in the words of Tim Walz, mind your own damn business. Stop forcing it on people. That's what pisses people off, you know, forcing it on them. The ideology, the neo-Marxist nonsense, the foolishness, the stupidity of it. Oh. Whatever makes you tutti frutti, just don't force it on me. It's pretty cool. A couple of old people over there pruning their bush. So we just hit 2.5 miles. They don't have their Trump stuff out there yet, but those are Republicans across the street. These are not. Nice little house made out of brick, real brick, it's not faux brick. There's a park here. There's always kids playing in this park. It's nice. A couple of years ago I didn't notice that as much. There wasn't as much activity. Now there's more kids getting out doing things. So, coincidentally, I've been seeing a lot less overweight people too, which is good. Young people, I mean, you know, young. You get older and a few pounds find a way to stick on you. They stick on you. But there's no reason for somebody that's under 20 years old to be obese unless they have an eating disorder, which is a psychological issue usually. Could be a glandular problem. That does happen as well. Important to see a doctor for that. My remedy was to lose 40 pounds by walking 5 miles every day. And, you know, a lot of what I get from people is, oh man, the discipline it takes to do that. Congratulations, that's so awesome. How long you been doing this? Oh, a few years now. Oh, really? Every day? Yeah, when the weather allows it. Wow. Such good discipline. Well, the truth of the matter is it's one of those things where realistically, okay, statistically, 56 years old, this is the time to take care of yourself more than you did when you were younger. And I don't want to be dead next week. That's not to say I'm not gonna be. A perfect example of that, okay, is you know, Paul Harrell, Gun Channel. Not exactly sure how old Paul was. I think he was in his 40s. You know, pancreatic cancer, and he's gone now. That son of a bitch ran several miles a week. He was in excellent physical condition. So that doesn't guarantee you anything. So here we go with the liberal signage. We have the Harris Walls signs. Jared Golden, Democrat congressman running for re-election. Vote for Trump. Those are two college kids admiring the Harris signs. So there we go with the Harris signs. That same lawn has Democrat signs at every election. So nothing new or alarming. So far I'm seeing signs on the same lawns. There'll be a couple more up ahead. So I told those two college kids to vote for Trump. Maybe they are going to vote for Trump. I don't know. Anyway, it's time to no longer be shy about who you support, okay? This is it. The country's on the line. So we got another Harris sign down here. So it looks like the Harris people have been knocking on doors for signs. Truth of the matter is you can't put Trump signs out here. You just can't do it. They'll disappear. On this stretch right here, because this is College Street, and a lot of the college kids come jogging up here. They drive by here. Those signs will not stay there. So let them think they're winning. I smell cat pee. Some cat has been spraying those bushes. The cat's like, them's my bushes. Another brick house. It's like an old brick house. Some of those bricks have shifted. Get that old Camaro there. Z28 maybe. Late 80s. Looks in rough shape. So the amount of money it would cost to refurb that car right there, they're either keeping that because they've always had that car or they had one like it. But realistically, that's not a good year to really go revamp all of that. Unless you want to replace the engine and do a whole ton of work to the body and frame and all that. And you'd end up spending so much money, it'd be better off just buying the model year you wanted. Get rid of that. Truthfully. So I watched an interesting video yesterday. Elon Musk sat down and did an interview with some people on a stage, and he was talking about robots. And Tesla is working on a project called Optimus. Optimus is a human-serving robot that is really stepping up and doing well. And he was saying within 5 years people are going to be able, maybe 7 years, he said, people will be able to buy them. And he said they will cost a little bit less than a low-budget car. So there will be a monthly payment, like a car payment if you want to buy one. But it'll be somewhat affordable for some people that want a robot around the house to do the housework and probably dishes and things like that. So we're starting to get to that point now where this technology is starting to turn into people can buy a C-3PO. Now, you may or may not support AI technology, because perverted in the wrong hands, it can be really absolutely terrible, like possibly ending mankind. In the right hands, it would be a useful tool. The bad side is it's going to put a lot of people out of work. You know, you're not going to need people and pay them to be cashiers anymore and things like that. So there is a downside to that, but it seems to me that it's going to be inevitable, and this is going to happen. So that's what we got, folks. It's the way it is. Nothing we can do about it at this point, and Trump has stated that he wants the United States to lead the world in that. And that's something he's obviously talked about with Elon. And the United States should lead the world in that. If we're going to lead in it, in anything, that's the future of everything. AI. Everything from self-driving cars to whatever. I don't know what they're going to do with people. People have to do something, right? I mean, are robots going to be painting houses? Are they going to be fixing your car? Are they going to be, you know, exactly how often are they going to be used? What kind of politicians are going to pervert legislation for the purpose of that too, you know? What's going to be restricted? What isn't? Are they going to have to pass laws for people being irresponsible and not doing something right with the robot, and the robot kills the newborn infant by accident, snaps its neck because it thought it was doing something else, or it had a glitch, or I mean, I don't know what's going to come from that. This is all new stuff. I started thinking about that movie AI, I think it was called that. Steven Spielberg did. I thought that was cool. That was a good movie. Oh, there's a little squirrel there with no tail. Where's your little tail? What happened to it? We got some dead people here. Dead cat with a dead witch. So the Halloween stuff's coming out early. I know some of you in some parts of the country, you're still 90 degrees, 100 degrees. Halloween's the furthest thing from your mind. But the leaves are starting to turn here. Last night it was in the low 40s here. It was chilly. And the leaves are starting to turn, although not dominantly yet. But pretty soon you'll be walking with me and all these leaves will be reds and yellows. It'll look really pretty. And it's that time. That's it. We're here. I gotta carve a pumpkin. So I'm gonna do that. And I think I'm gonna do a traditional jack-o'-lantern look like you see in horror movies rather than something funny. Or I don't like those jack-o'-lanterns when people do all these crazy designs in them and stuff. I mean, that's great if you want to do that and enjoy it, but I prefer the traditional evil looking, menacing, Sleepy Hollow looking pumpkin heads, you know what I mean? I mean, how scary would the Sleepy Hollow have been if the Headless Horseman had the freaking head of a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern and it was like a smiley face with a little cat carved in it? I mean, it's not very scary, is it? I guess that's all I'm saying. And we got a big willow tree in the back. We got a couple of those in the neighborhood, in our neighborhood too. And every time the wind blows, something breaks off it. They're very brittle trees. Don't put any of those next to your house. Just don't do it. We've had to cut one up a couple times with a chainsaw. Big, huge branches the size of a small tree. When those trees get really big, those willows, they get really big, okay? They absorb a lot of water out of the ground. They have a very deep root system, which is good. Even though we did have a neighbor that had one that had a microburst came through with a thunderstorm and blew their tree right out of the ground. So we had about 5 or 6 giant 5-story pine trees taken out intentionally. And so because when it's 90-95 degrees, those things mist sap all over your cars. It's like the biggest pain in the rear end ever. So now, remember I told you there was another house that was going to have a Harris sign, and that's the one. That's the one I was waiting for. I got all these streets memorized. You know, I've been walking every day, and that's the other benefit of walking every day, is you can see your neighborhood change. So we knew that sign was going to be there. I knew this was going to be here. So right around the corner from here, there's a couple of Trump signs. Nobody on the main drag here is going to have a Trump sign out, because it won't stay. Somebody will vandalize it or do like they did to us, because we're stupid enough to put a flag out on a busy street like this where we live. Car went by and she screamed out, "Effing racist! You effing racist!" Okay, thank you. Hope you feel better now. So they're really gonna really like our neighbors, because we have a neighbor that actually has several US flags, "Don't tread on me" flags, back to blue flags, Trump banners. They actually got a couple of Trump banners. That must be irritating the hell out of people, because they have to look at it when they stop at a red light at an intersection. So I'm glad they have that out there. Somebody's got to promote Trump, damn it. And the irony is, if you're tuning in, that this district, ME2, has gone to Trump twice. Last 2 elections. You got an electoral college vote twice out of this district. So all of these Kamala Mala Shamala signs, they're not going to help them. So anyway, I think that's about it for Harris signs that we're going to see. Those are the usual ones that always have Democrat signs out. I think they're all full now. Something new might pop up and jog my memory, but I don't think so. This over here, I'm not sure, because these are new houses built last year. And they got an American flag out there, so they're probably going to vote for Trump. She's a nice old lady that lives here, by the way. I've run into her a few times. Nobody living here yet. So this lot is still up for sale. So I hope you're enjoying the walk. And yes, every walk that's 5 or 6 miles, it's between an hour and a half and an hour and 50 minutes usually. I usually average about anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes a mile walking, which is pretty damn good. And my slowest mile is always the first. It's about 20 minutes. Which is just the body getting used to walking and then picking up the pace naturally. Got a bunch of water sloshing around in his tanks. So she's sitting at an intersection messing around on her phone, which is illegal in Maine, by the way. She's breaking the law. She's a lawbreaker. Call the fuzz. Call the Rozzers. You can use a Bluetooth and you can dictate. But it is against the law to drive with your cell phone on, using your phone in your hand. So she was sitting there at an intersection texting somebody, which is illegal. Should pull over to do that. I drive an older Mustang because I love Mustangs. And I have no electronic crap in that whatsoever. I still have the push-pull headlight button like the old Mustangs had. I don't have any sat-nav. I get nothing that barks at me when I left something on. The only thing I have is if I leave my headlights on and I take my seatbelt off and I open my door, the freaking thing will beep at me. And I get beeped at if I forget to put on my seatbelt, which I never do anyway. I mean, I never forget to put it on. I always put it on. I actually used to put the seatbelt on before it was made a law here. And so anyways, I got a bare bones Mustang. And I can tell you, I understand fully why those old muscle cars didn't used to have air conditioning. It was an option. Because some people didn't want the air conditioner because it really sucks the engine's power. It really sucks on your horsepower. I can feel the difference as soon as the air conditioning comes on, and also my fuel economy goes downhill. I'm sure technology today is much better with that, but for my car in the early 2000s, it's pretty much what it is. Also, 2005 is when they changed the body style again, and they made some changes to some things. So they're always changing something. But I really enjoy that car. I love driving it. It's kind of cool when you go down the road and you come up at an intersection and some little kid points at it. Look, Mama, look, a Mustang. An old Mustang. So that's always kind of cool. And realistically, Blue Book wise, I mean, my freaking car is not worth, you know, as much as people think Mustangs are. Used car markets, actually used cars right now are more valuable than they have been before Biden. So that is good though. So the other thing is too, is it's always important to check out the Carfax on things. Reported accidents or things like that will show up on there. Reported accidents, that's the key thing. My car started out in Texas, then it went to Oklahoma. It was in Texas as a dealership car. They used it to send employees to deliver car parts to local businesses. And I spent a lot of time just sitting out baking in the Texas sun. And that's part of the reason why I got a good price on it, was a lot of the rubber on it had dried out, and the clear coat on the spoiler on the back was peeling. So spent about $2,000 getting everything up to snuff. I replaced the plastics on it, the cowl where the windshield wipers are. I replaced that, and new plastic trim. So the worst thing that my car experienced was somebody blew the two front tires out because they drove over something they shouldn't have. That was in the Carfax, actually, a repair that was done. And so that was kind of cool. So the other thing that happened with that is when I went to Oklahoma, it wasn't there long, and it ended up being sold and transported to Maine, where somebody not far from here owned it that was about 21 years old, put stupid headlights and stupid taillights in it. Ended up making it look like a European. Thankfully they didn't go through the whole process of chopping the suspension down and all that. But they had a stereo system in it with one of those bass cannons, and that had all been ripped out. And the key point to it though is because it was a dealership vehicle. When I got the car, it only had 60-something thousand miles on it, and because of the sun damage done to certain parts on it and the fading of the plastics, it didn't cost very much. So I got a good car for the money because of how it looked aesthetically, and that's all been remedied. So, you know, put quarter panel plastics on it and put rear louvers on it, replaced everything on it that was dried out and cracked, and did it all myself. So I also redid the vinyl Mustang striping on it. It's a red car with white striping. I redid that all myself. Came out really good. And that's all right. It still has a couple of the vinyl bumper covers that have a little bit of sun damage. It gets worse every year. The car could use a respray, but it's mine, it's paid for, and right now it's about 87,000 miles on it. It still has a lot of life left to it. So it's a good car. And as I've explained before, I did have to, I think that young person did a lot of stupid things with this car. I mean, as far as, you know, burnouts and whatever else. But, you know, it had warped heads on it. Had to get those done, new header gasket. That was a $2,000 job, repair job, mainly because of labor, and had to ship the heads out overnight to have them resurfaced. but that car was worth it, so I'll get more than what I paid for it currently with the prices today, which I'm not planning on selling it anyways. But anyway, the point is you have to use the Carfax. Get a Carfax. It's only about $25–30, I think. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't much. And if you're going to be spending a few thousand for something, I mean, that's more than worth it. You want to know what you're buying. You want to know if there's body filler on it, because there was an accident. So there's some Trump flags there. So if you're wondering where the hell the Trump flags are, there they are, back away from the road where people aren't going to steal them. That's what we've been relegated to. You know, we're just really stupid. We have ours right up front where somebody can go by and rip it right off the building. But that's on them, really. They want to feel good about themselves doing that, then, you know, whatever. Just get another flag. So we should be coming up on about the time around the corner up ahead where the battery is going to run out. And Tuesday is trash day on this street, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on some chute cycling stuff, see if we can get anything to chute cycle. If you're new to the channel, chute cycling is finding empty jug containers that people put in bins to recycle, and fill them up with water and shoot them. So we'll see if there's anything kicking around. I'm not going to open any lids and stick my face in there, but if I see any blue recycling bins on the side of the road, that's what we have here. They're uncovered. You can take a look-see walking by. Not seeing anything yet. Probably won't find a damn thing today. The other day though, I found like 8 or 9 of them. I was walking around with these things tucked under my arms and carrying the handles on the jugs. Probably looked pretty funny, but we shot them all up Saturday and then we threw them away. Yeah, a nice car in there. Trump supporter. A nice muscle car in there. Dodge. Yep. Alright, here's the Harris walls. Ah, see? Now this is interesting. Now, I knew this was going to have one of these. So they've obviously been coming around and giving out signs. This is the sign, the lawn, that said anybody but Trump. Okay? So, they're not really a Harris supporter, but apparently they are, because they're supporting Jared Golden. So that line used to say anybody but Trump. And now it says Harris. So that's somebody that didn't like Biden, and now they're going to vote for Harris to spite Trump. And they got a car out front with little Randy's Odd Jobs, so don't call them for your business. Well, they might be there doing work for those people, so, well, I shouldn't say that then. All right. Let me get a new battery. Coming up on 4.5 miles now. Friggin' little kid went by with a little kid went by with one of those electric scooters, and freaking going fast. These kids, they don't need a license for those Freaking electric scooters. They look like they go about 30 miles an hour. I can just see a bunch of kids getting killed with them things. Something to watch out for when you're driving. Kind of thing you don't expect to come around the corner, you know? Kids don't know the intersection and traffic laws. You could be doing everything right and still hit a kid because they don't know what they're doing. They go down the wrong side of the street. All they got to be doing is going down the wrong side of the street, like in a breakdown lane, coming straight towards us, and that car is going up this way. Then they get distracted by a dog barking at them on the sidewalk, and they swerve out in the road in front of a car because they're not watching. Now I can really see something like that happening. Anyways, I've got a fresh battery in here. Got another Harris wall sign. That's actually a new sign. I don't remember seeing one there. Well, actually, you know, I wouldn't know because I didn't walk down on this street. Come to think of it. So I'll make a note of that. But Harris is going to win the state of Maine by probably 7 points. So it'd be funny if she didn't, but she's going to win Maine. But we divide our electoral college votes. So Harris will get one and Trump will get the other. That's basically how that's going to work out. If we didn't do that, then Harris would get both. So, surprised the Democrats haven't made a move to change that yet. They did vote for Maine to get rid of the Electoral College. If that Electoral College bill goes national, Maine will be participating in that. So, currently, I had talked about this before. As far as the election goes nationwide, Maine represents probably 3, maybe 4%, if that. And getting rid of the Electoral College vote and using the popular vote, we only have 1.4 million people. So we had more power with the Electoral College vote than we will with the popular vote. It's going to be like our vote just doesn't matter. There's only 1.4 million people here and not all of them can vote. So there's even less voters. So that would be really sad. And they always promote these things. Oh, we got a Trump Vance sign. Alright. We'll get ready to vote for Trump. He's got his And got his Trump Vance sign out. Right there. Now that guy right there, I don't know his name, but I do know that he hosts young hockey players that play for the Maine Nordiques, Quebec Major Junior hockey team that we have. Which, by the way, if you're Franco-American, it's pronounced Quebec. English, it looks like Quebec, but it's Quebec. The Quebecois. And ice hockey is big. Used to be a lot bigger around here than it is now, but it's still pretty big around here. All the high schools have a varsity team. Kids all play ice hockey. So it's one of those things. Well, anyway, that guy that lives in that building actually houses these young Canadians that come here to play for that hockey team that's only a couple miles that way, and gives them lodging and feeds them, which I'm sure is a big help. So you don't mind having kids running, teenage kids running through your house for 4 months a year. So that's the other benefit of being in a small town, is you get to know who people are. So the last part of this walk, for people that are new to walking, is always keep your eye open on cars that are coming. There's a tree right there with a scar in it and a piece of a car grill and a hubcap, or somebody came off the road and hit a tree right through here. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, why do you walk towards traffic with them coming at you? Aren't you scared? I'd be more scared walking across the road with cars coming at my back that I can't see what they're doing. Here, if I saw somebody that didn't see me and they were driving too close, I can just go off the side of the road. So, and I call that trying to avoid getting Stephen King'd. Famous author Stephen King, walking in Maine just like I am now. Somebody hit him from behind, almost killed him. So I don't want to be Stephen King'd. So I walk with traffic coming towards me. The other thing I don't do when I walk, and sometimes I'll get comments, what do you listen to when you walk? Nothing. I like to listen to the stuff around me, because then I can hear a rabbit, fox, or raccoon in the woods. I can hear deer rustling around. Then you can watch the deer. You can hear people coming up behind you trying to rob you. You can hear cars coming up behind you that shouldn't be there. They'll sound different. And I don't obstruct my hearing. The other thing I don't do, I don't wear sunglasses when I walk, because for me it makes everything too dark and it takes away from my visual acuity, probably because of my age, and I do have the beginnings of cortical cataracts, where my eyesight is still 20/20. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what I get is, like at nighttime especially, I'll see halos around headlights. They'll look like sparklers. During the daytime right now, everything looks perfect. So, but when I get older, it will be a problem. But what I want to do is I want to see cars coming. Now over here, you know, you kind of pick and choose where you can walk. Like the sidewalk starts on the other side over there. In this stretch right here, there's enough room to walk on the side, but they haven't trimmed it lately. So I'm going to stay on the right side, on the left side here, for a little ways. We are coming up on rush hour soon. It's late afternoon. It's probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock. And so this is that field that we see deer in a lot. The other thing I don't do is, if it's chilly out and there's a wind on my neck, I'd rather have the wind on my neck and not use a hoodie. Because when you have a hoodie up, what it does is you come up on an intersection and it takes away your peripheral vision. Peripheral, where, you know, it blocks what you can see on each side. And I want to see cars at intersections rolling through a stop sign, so I don't step out and get hit. Very importante, little things like that. But if you're new to walking, the most important thing, absolutely above all, is to dress properly for your walk, especially your shoes. You're gonna live and die by the comfort of your shoes. Wow, look at all these friggin' acorns. Is that crazy? That is all Mother Nature deer food right there. And coincidentally, this is a big deer crossing. So the deer all know these are here. And they cut these trees down. They had acorns, so they're gonna have less food. So they better come by and fill their bellies this year. Cross over as soon as the traffic lets up. So this is where I did the Woods Walk Gun Talk in here. It's a Thorn Craig Bird Sanctuary. We're not going in there today. In fact, I'll be wrapping this walk up pretty soon, actually. I just want to thank you for walking with me. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll sign off up ahead somewhere here. I'm going to go home and get something to eat. We've got the Thorn Craig Bird Sanctuary sign. Looks like something you'd see in a horror movie. Like a Friday the 13th movie. That's what I think of when I look at it anyway. I like watching those old Friday the 13th movies. You know, you can see some of these people when they were starting out. Kevin Bacon, one of them. Crispin Glover. So there's a lot of people that did these movies and went on to have bigger careers. And I get a feeling Crispin Glover was a kooky, strange person in person when he was young, because I don't think he was acting very much in this movie. I think he was more like how he was as a teenager. See Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Had a bunch of people in there that went on to be pretty famous. B.B. Cates. A whole bunch of people. Sean Penn being one of them. I'd say he had a pretty big career. I'm walking on acorns. Crunch, crunch. That's when you know fall is here. All the acorns fall out of the tree. Sometimes when you walk underneath those, they'll bop you right on the head. right, coming in the final stretch of the walk. This is a neighborhood that's had a lot of migrants move in here. And these are half decent rents, so those people are doing okay. There are people that come here that are qualified to be here. I'm happy they're here. I don't like the illegals, the criminals, the riffraff. That's what I don't like. So, I want everybody to come to America and enjoy it. Just do it legally. That's all we care about. Legally. And obey our laws, worship our Constitution, understand what it is, what we're about, and defend that. That's all we want. Give up your country you came from. Wipe it off your memory slate. It's gone. To a certain extent. Your heritage is your heritage, but if you're going to be an American, be an American. That's all I have to say about that. So with that, I'm going to end this walk. Still got about another mile to go, but I'll spare you. And I'll say thank you very much for watching. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy the debate tonight. I don't know what we're going to get, but I'm sure it'll be exciting either way. If Trump loses, he doesn't lose. Unless he really does something terrible to hurt himself, which I doubt he'll do. Until then, folks, have a beautiful week. Bye-bye. See you post-debate on the next walk. Have a nice night.